Hello guys, this is a quick comparison between a BarbaChart Race script plugin for After Effects and Data Story Maker, which is an extension plugin for both Premiere Pro and After Effects. So I'm gonna showcase the two examples directly in After Effects. So let's go from Window. You can have either Data Story Maker from here, the extension, the new extension, or the BarbaChart Race plugin, which has been around for 4 or 5 years already, and it's still working with the current versions of After Effects. So the first thing to compare is the fact that BarbaChart is only working in After Effects, and Data Story Maker is for both After Effects and Premiere Pro. It's exactly the same from you see that in Premiere Pro you will have the same exact UI. So let's get back to After Effects for this demo. So the second difference is that at BarbaChart you have only bar chart races and donut chart races, but with those you can do really a lot if you are a motion designer. So for instance, let's upload a CSV file on BarbaChart. We will upload the same dataset for both of the plugins so you can see the difference. So let's create this one, tennis for instance, and then you can choose the duration of the animation here, the width of the composition, color palette, and some other parameters, and then you click on here, create the bar chart composition, and in some seconds you will have the composition which has been created with the data we have uploaded. Now sometimes you can have these errors here, just depending on how the execution of the script has been done, but if you just click on it and it will disappear. Once you have created the composition, you can see that here on the layer, on the essential properties, you still have a lot of parameters that you can modify. Colors, the spaces between the bars, the form of the bars, the labels, everything you can modify here, because these are actually layers in After Effects. If you double click here, you see that this is the internal composition and you have a layer for each of the thing. You can still modify everything. So I had a question recently how to add an image with the inside the bar. Yeah, you can either use the standard way, which is adding if you want to add the flags, but if you don't want to add flags but you want other type of images, you can just go on the inside composition and you can look for these layers, image 1, image 2, image 10. These are you see here the images which are associated with each bar and are currently empty PNGs. So you can just get your image and with Alt click you just drag it over the image here and you can have the image of the bar and then moving bar as well. Okay, this is how you do some little customization, but you really can do a lot. If you know After Effects, you can modify everything. So let's go now to see the other option, which is Data Story Maker. Let's create the same type of chart. You have more charts here, and I'm going to add more and more. I'm adding 1 or 2 per month. You can have charts, you can have counters, you can have timelines to showcase projects, for instance, or teams. You have some examples already included here. But let's do the same chart in Data Story Maker. So let's create a BarbaChart Race, okay? Then choose File. We're gonna do the same file. Where is it here? And here you have you can modify. You can add the images. I'm just adding random images here, but for you to understand how it works. And you can see here that you have the images associated with the datasets. You can modify the colors, and then once you have done the images and the colors, you can modify the title. You modify here, you have the preview already here available. You can modify the duration of the animation, let's put 20. You can modify the format, square format or vertical format. Let's keep landscape, and then you can modify the font and the foreground colors for the text, the background color, the opacity of the background if you want to have something behind. And then once you are good with that, you can modify. Let's go to an empty composition here, and you can generate chart animation. And with that Data Story Maker will create a new layer with the animated video. You see that here you have, okay, now it's a little bit too much because I've created the composition is a square composition, but I've added a landscape format, so just for the sake of the video, let's reduce it like that. And here you have the animation of the bar chart race. So once you have created this animation here, you will not have the possibility to modify anything. This is just actually a video sequence of images which have been created by the Data Story Maker. So yes, this is mainly for video editors. You can modify something, but not much. But the good thing about Data Story Maker is that you can have much more types of charts. So, for instance, you have, you can just with the clicker, you have the same data sets. You can create another animated line chart, for instance, or you can create an animated like this BarbaChart Race. Or whatever, radial area animation as well. But once you have created the animation, yes, that's it. You can just publish it on the internet. While with BarbaChart, you can modify all the layers afterwards and do a lot of personalizations. So up to you, which one do you prefer? You will tell me. Any question, just let me know in the comments below, or just send me an email at info@barbachart.com. I'm always happy to answer. Thank you. See you soon.